If you clicked on this video, you're probably a new grad who started your first job after graduation. Maybe you aren't exactly thrilled with it. Maybe it wasn't what you hoped it would be. Maybe there's some procedures or ideals that you want to change, and you have a great idea on how to implement them. In this video, I'm going to give you a few tips on how to approach your boss and higher ups with a pitch about your idea that's actually going to land and actually going to make change. I'm Elizabeth. I'm also a new grad. I'm a social worker in my first post-grad job. I'm a medical social worker in a hospital setting, and truthfully, I never thought I was going to end up in healthcare. It's not something that particularly interests me. I wasn't interested in working under a medical model, but I've really been enjoying it so far. That being said, my boss recently asked, what are some barriers to providing care? And it opened up the door for me to pitch my idea. So I was thinking about how I pitched it, and I laid it out, and I have a few step-by-steps on how you can pitch your own idea. The first step is gonna sound so stupid, but develop a well thought out plan. So I did a lot of brainstorming and collaborating with the other social worker that's on my unit before I ever went to my boss to pitch the idea. I thought of all the things that could go wrong, things that my boss may say no to, or questions that she may have. I never scrapped the idea, but instead I came up with solutions. For example, for me, I really want to create an open therapy group for the patients that are on my floor, since I've noticed that some of the patients are really struggling with their diagnosis or the procedure that they had. On my unit, there's a lot of diagnoses and procedures that are very life-changing. I thought of what we would talk about, the activities that we would do, even what supplies I would need, the budget for where the supplies would come out of. I pitched the idea to my boss, and she had a great response. This was my initial pitch. She said a therapy group was perfect for what she had in mind for the unit. She's really been wanting to tackle some of those mental health issues that usually don't get tackled on my unit. She did have some feedback and some questions that I hadn't thought of yet, like how are we going to get the patients down to the room? We were able to brainstorm all these questions out together. She even gave me some ideas that I hadn't thought of, so I was able to then go back to the drawing board and tweak my idea. So the next thing that you want to do is back up your idea with research. Not Google searches, research. So I actually started by collaborating with a social work colleague that I had graduated with. We talked about what would be the best evidence-based theory to operate my group under. I knew I wanted an open group. I knew I wanted talk therapy. I knew I wanted arts and crafts. So we brainstormed different models, and I began my research. I sought out peer-reviewed articles. I printed them. I read them, highlighted it, took notes. I kept everything in a folder. I knew I wanted to have a folder of materials to really strengthen my pitch and help execute my vision. Having the materials in hand to hand over to your boss is really going to strengthen your pitch. So once I decided what I wanted the group to look like, I began seeking out and creating sample worksheets and activities, things like that. Again, having the printed materials is going to make it look even better. And it's also going to show that you're really serious about this. I wanted to make sure I had some sort of curriculum in hand, so the samples that my boss would have would really form a picture in her mind that this group actually can exist. I also created what I'll call promotional materials. They were flyers that I would hang around the unit announcing the group to patients who might be interested. I also created a calendar with these still hypothetical group sessions on the calendar to show my boss that I'd really thought about the time that these events would occur, making sure that they don't interfere with other hospital and unit specific operations. And then finally, that third step is just make sure you follow up. You pitched your idea, you did your brainstorming, you did your research. Make sure you follow up if you weren't given that green light immediately, because following up shows that you're serious And it reminds your boss to keep this on the drawing board. Maybe your boss needs to go to their boss about it. Following up and being able to demonstrate that there's research and there's still a need for your idea is key. Well, hopefully this helps someone out there who has a wonderful idea and doesn't know where to start. I was always told in grad school that your internships are a great place to see what needs improvement and ignites change in these systems. But that doesn't have to stop once you graduate and you start working in those actual systems. This video was part of a series that I'm starting on this channel all about navigating your first job and entering the workforce. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe because more social work, new career, post-grad lifestyle content is going to be coming out. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, leave me a comment about where you're at in your journey, especially if you're in your social work journey, post-grad life, and what does it look like for you. So not only does it help me out, but it lets me connect with all you guys, which is why I want to do this. So anyways, again, thanks for watching. Bye.